Hello there and welcome to this demonstration of our web portal that parents can use to track the performance of their learners, track their payments, school schedules, as well as events and announcements. What I have here is a dashboard that shows that I already have 2 learners registered, and you can see that the different menu items that you can access. For example, you can view your results, you can view report cards, you can view the subject rankings of the learners, as well as track their progress. So to get started, let me just log out here. To get started, you might have received an SMS from your school that indicates the learner ID that you can use to log in. So you're going to use that you're going to enter that number that you received in here, and you also enter the same password in here that you actually given in the SMS. Now, in case you're an existing user, and you might have created your account using an email and your own password. You don't need to worry, you don't need to change anything. You can simply log in using the same email that you had used as well as your password. Okay, so this is for those that are using the user IDs. For example, if the ID that you're going to use is something like that, then you can enter that ID there. And once you've entered the password, it will lead you to the next page where you need to update your details. That is, you have to enter the full name, your phone number that can actually be used to send you announcements, and then you also enter the email address that can be used, for example, when you've forgotten your password. All right. So in my case, I already registered and logged in. Um, the very first thing, of course, once if you logged in using the ID that you received from your school, automatically your child is going to be added on the system. But if you have more children that you'd like to add, you don't need to log in separately using their different IDs. You can actually add more learners there. So if you just go to this page, you can enter the other IDs of the other children, and then you can basically be logging in using one ID, but you can have access to the different results for the different learners. So let's go back to our dashboard here and see what other functionalities we have. If we go to view results, let me get back to the dashboard. Um, on the dashboard, this chart that you see here is showing you the average scores per term for each of the children that you have on the system. So this chart you see here is for Favor, the other one is for Felicia, and this shows that in 2022 term 1, this was the average score from all the subjects. 2022 term 2, term 3, and it goes on throughout all the terms that are available in the system. And then on the right hand side here, it shows you the recent results that this child received. If you have more children, you can simply click on the drop down to pick another child, and then you'll be able to see the results. So on the left here, you've got your menu where you can add learners there, or you can go to the results, for instance. And you can also access some of these items here just directly from the dashboard. For example, if I click on view results, I can pick a learner, let's say Favor. I can pick any term, let's say 2023 term 1, and I'm able to see a report like this one. So this is very mobile friendly. You should be able to see this nicely on your phone or on your tablet. So the first part here shows the summary, the points in the basics, the subject pass rate, and so forth. And then for every subject, you see what was the class average, the grade average, the teacher's comment. It also shows you the score of the child. It also shows you the position in class and the grade. So let me pick, let's say, term 2, 2023, which shows some comparisons to term 1. You can see here it will show you whether the child maintained score or actually went up. For example, here the child went up by 12 points compared to the previous term. And if you check this one, the child went down by 4 points. And then at the bottom, it shows you a comparison to the class average. So for all the different subjects, you can see how the child performed compared to the class average and the grade average. Now, in this case, this school only has one stream of these classes, and that's why you can see that the class and the grade average are overlapping. Then another report that we can see, apart from that, we can actually view the detailed report cards. So I have 2 children here. I can actually view the report cards for all of them. So let's say I want to view for term 2 of 2023. And that is if all of them had results in those terms, then it will of course show. So here I can see for Favor, I can also see for Felicia. This is the detailed report card. You can actually go through this. I won't go through every point. Another report that you can view is the raw assessment results. What this basically does is if you pick your child and you pick a term, so let's say maybe the same 2023 term 2, I can see the different scores that the child had in each of the assessments. Now, in this case, there's only end of term, but you might have had a term one, there might have been a midterm test, and then end of term, right? So you'll be able to see the scores for all those. And you can also do the same for the final results, which are the compiled results. And if I pick a child and let's say I look at his primary section, this now does it for all the different terms that the child was in. So from grade 1, grade 2, you can see grade 3, these are all the different results. It shows you how the child was performing in each subject. If I pick this other one, it's important to split this by section because the subjects might be different. So at reception level, you can see that was the performance. And when you see a -1 like this, what it actually means is that the child was absent, right? So you shouldn't be surprised why it would show that a child has a -1. Then other kinds of reports that you can view is, for example, the subject ranking. How was the child performing in each subject compared to other pupils? And here you can even say, let me just compare his performance in mathematics and English as an example. I save your reports, then it will actually show me that um, if, if you check, for instance, in 2022 term 1, he had position 1 in both subjects, right? And then 2022 term 2, mathematics, he was number 4 in the class, right? And then 2023 term 1, he was number 6 in the class, right? But for math, he was actually better. He was still number 1. So these are subject rankings. You can view that for all the subjects. So if you just click there, then it will show all the different subjects. Some of them might be overlapping. Then another report you could have is to track performance. So if I pick the same child and I pick, let's say, primary section, this part here only applies to the part where you're tracking the subjects again, which is here where you're tracking performance for all subjects. You can pick which subjects you want to view. The rest of the charts are showing all the subjects. So the first one shows the average scores across all terms per subject. So this child, let's say, maybe has had 5 terms, maybe from 2023 up to 2024. What was the average score in all these subjects? That's what this is showing. This is showing for every term what was the performance, right? So these are the actual scores. These are not averages. Then here it shows you the highest, average, and the lowest score per term. So you can see, for instance, the blue line there is the highest score, the red line is the average score, and then the brown one is the lowest score. So this child's lowest score was in 2022 where he had something like 50. Then it also shows you the points per term, and then lastly it shows you the overall position in class and grade. So again, like I said, there's only one stream, so that's why the overall position in class and grade is just the same. So these are some of the reports that you're able to use to analyze performance of your children. In other videos that will follow, we'll show you how you can do payments, track the payments and the fees, and then also how you can track announcements.